In an isolated, secret laboratory, one of Hollywood's most glamorous and lethal aliens is re-emerging for another big screen reign of terror.
It was perfect. It was perfect, the whole thing. Well done.
I am too tough for a woman. What is this?
Species 2 brings back star Natasha Henstridge, who portrayed the alien named Syl in 1994's original Species.
Being a badass is my forte, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was a tomboy as a kid, and I get to like sort of continue living out that whole thing.
This time, Henstridge plays a half-human, half-alien clone of Syl named Eve. As in the original Species, Henstridge's character undergoes a full alien incarnation.
Oh, it's a different character. She's not the bad guy this time, necessarily. She's both, which is kind of fun. You know, she's a little bit good, a little bit bad, and a little bit confused, and you know what I mean? She's got sort of all those elements going for her.
The creatures in Species, like those in the Alien series, are based on the designs of Swiss artist H.R. Giger. Bringing them to life is the job of visual effects supervisor Steve Johnson and his team at XFX in Los Angeles.
I think that if I had to use one word to describe the work that we did on Species, it would not be scary. I mean, Giger's work to me is beautiful, but that wouldn't be the word either. I would say disturbing.
Johnson is overseeing the creation of Eve's alien form. This includes a full bodysuit to be worn by Henstridge's double, Monica Staggs, and a completely robotic version of Eve.
Normally when you make an animatronic puppet, you would either use a foam rubber skin or a silicone skin being a little bit more translucent than foam rubber, but here we wanted much more translucency than that, so we used a layering effect of vacuform plastics. Her face is made of vacuform, but there's also a skull, an actual humanoid-type skull underneath that you're seeing through to.
Where do filmmakers get the ideas for such outrageous alien creatures? University of Hawaii professor Dennis Kunkel knows one source of inspiration. He is the co-author of Micro Aliens, a book about the tiniest creatures that live all around us. From bedbugs to bean weevils to body lice.
Many of the creatures that I have observed in the microscope are alien or very unusual looking, and those features or attributes of these tiny creatures have been used and portrayed in movies.
This carpet beetle is typical of the nearly invisible life forms Kunkel observes through a scanning electron microscope.
I think one of the most bizarre creatures that I've come across in viewing them through a microscope is a dust mite. It normally eats on dead materials, decaying materials such as dead skin, hair. It's hard to estimate how many dust mites would live in a dust ball. I have heard, however, that in a mattress there can be up to 2 million dust mites.
While there is no escaping micro-aliens such as this cat flea, the good news is that many are absolutely harmless. Unlike Hollywood's most terrifying creatures. On the set of Species 2, co-star Michael T. Williamson's character is nearly choked to death by a developing alien reaching out from inside its cocoon-like pod.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, turn it off.
Steve Johnson's team hangs dozens of the pods in a cavernous barn set.
Point in the direction of the vacuum.
Action!
His secret to creating the pods is less high-tech than some might think.
Literally plastic garbage bags. We heat seal it, pattern out shapes, and then hand manipulate it by pulling it into weird shapes. It's an amazing sculptural technique. And what you end up with is something that's much, much more organic.
Let it out, let it out, let it out.
Vacuum machines control the throbbing motion of the cocoon and the deadly alien tentacles that strike unsuspecting prey.
Okay, that's where we're starting.
Roll it out.
That.
from the movie's menacing alien pods to the transformation of Natasha Henstridge into Eve, Steve Johnson and his effects team have created startling new life forms for Species 2.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored at sometimes. You think I had a choice?
Thanks to the special effects industry's advances in digital technology, a classic outer space villain returns to the big screen. In the 20th anniversary re-release of Star Wars, alien mobster Jabba the Hutt appears opposite Harrison Ford in a brand new scene. When the movie was filmed in the mid-70s, an actor stood in for Jabba who had yet to be created.
If you want to talk to me, come see me yourself.
But time and money constraints forced director George Lucas to cut the scene from the film.
I just can't afford to make exceptions. It's not good business.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored at sometimes. You think I had a choice?
Once I finished the third film, I really wanted to go back and put that back in there because it was sort of relevant to what happens to Han Solo at the end of the movie.
To accomplish this, Lucas turned to one of his top visual effects supervisors, Steve Spaz Williams.
So Lucas's concept was he had to have the character move this time, and he had to look really fat and disgusting.
Williams' job is to digitally erase the actor and replace him with a Jabba character created entirely in the computer.
It was like performing surgery on someone famous.
One of the most complex challenges for Williams is lip-syncing Jabba's alien language. Williams is able to animate specific sections of Jabba's mouth by manipulating a small cube on the screen.
It moves the surface of the mouth, so that's how I was getting the lip sync.
Steve Williams' digital surgery delighted enthusiastic Star Wars fans by reintroducing a classic big-screen tough guy. But even Jabba the Hutt seems like a pussycat compared to the predatory warriors of Alien Resurrection. Besides endowing the alien with new skills, the film also features a startling array of grotesque clones, the results of misguided experiments blending alien and human DNA. These silicone sculptures are the work of Tom Woodruff Jr. and Alec Gillis and their team at ADI.
We tried to incorporate some of the most characteristic features of the alien into these aborted clones. Some of the characteristic features would be the metal teeth, the second inner mouth, the spines that protrude from the back of the warrior creature.
In a scene depicting an unsuccessful cloning of Sigourney Weaver's character, ADI creates a grossly distorted body sculpture. Weaver's real body is concealed beneath the table, and her head is exposed through a small opening. Weaver's relationship with ADI goes back to 1983, when they worked together on the second installment of the series, Aliens. For Alien Resurrection, Woodruff and Gillis sought Weaver's insight.
The swimming and some of the movements and the way she looks at people and everything, I worked with Tom a lot on that. I know with the clones that are featured in the movie, I told them I didn't want to have any input. And I think it's one of the greatest things they've ever done. These things they created were so touching.
Woodruff and Gillis have been experimenting with creature effects since they were teenagers. As a 16-year-old, Woodruff shot his own version of King Kong, utilizing stop-motion animation and rear screen projection. At age 17, Gillis used a technique called forced perspective, in which characters are filmed at varying distances from the camera to create the illusion of a giant. Now, for Alien Resurrection, Gillis and Woodruff manage an 83-person staff immersed in the business of alien creation. A highlight is the birth of an 8-foot-tall baby alien. Unlike its mother, the baby carries human DNA, accounting for such features as eyes.
That's the pivotal human feature that we've entered into the alien lineages to give it human eyes, because it's something that none of the alien creatures have ever had.
Beneath the creature's silicone rubber skin are hydraulics and servo motors that control body movement. Prior to each take, the creature is made up with the slimy lather of methyl cellulose. Unfortunately for the newborn, it gets sucked out the window of a spaceship. Behind the set, a team of 9 puppeteers controls the trapped creature. From their creation of the newborn to their continuing refinements of the adult alien, Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. have left an indelible mark on the Alien series. Though Hollywood has created thousands of far-out creatures, only the most popular have the opportunity to stalk the big screen more than once.
Look, Jabba, even I get bored.
And when they do return, one thing is assured. The movie magic practiced by effects artists will make each encore performance even more amazing than the last.
Sunday, visit Tinseltown. Go behind the scenes of some of Hollywood's greatest blockbusters. Making Movies Marathon